Hi Wildings, welcome back to the Wilding Tarot YouTube channel, and thank you so much for supporting me at this channel by watching ads. I really appreciate it. Today's video is a super fun one. I loved recording for our topic today, and it just so happens that every single reading had a lot of kind of very like destiny, divine purpose kind of cards come out. So I think everyone who's been drawn to this reading today is definitely about to engage in very divinely planned connections. So that was definitely the vibe of all three readings. Like they're all very like high order, lots of intentional lessons, but also lots of kind of love too. So yeah, it was a super fun one to record. I won't keep you much longer because I do want to get into the video pretty quickly today. So yeah, let's start kind of explaining what we're doing today. Okay Wildings, let's get into today's video. So today we're asking the question, what is going to happen with your current crush? So choosing either pile 1, 2 or 3 to get your channeled messages regarding your situation. This can be like kind of anything from a really new crush to like maybe you've even started dating this person. So yeah, just like tailor the messages based on your situation. I will mostly focus on maybe newer kind of energies. If you have a kind of history with this person, you'll just need to bring your intuition and discernment along to your reading to kind of reinterpret any of the cards that I'm reading in a specific way based on the intention of this reading. I do usually talk about kind of the energies of the card. So usually it's fairly easy to kind of change how the energies would apply to you. And yeah, we're gonna hopefully have a really fun reading. I have been doing fairly long readings. I don't know if this one will be as long as maybe some of the 2-hour-ish readings that I've been posting. I'm hoping to maybe keep it to about an hour so that it's kind of like nice and fun and easy. I just do a lot of very, very deep readings on this channel. So yeah, I do kind of want to do a couple of fun ones too. So hopefully that will be this. But we'll have to see what happens. Because yeah, sometimes, yeah, we just end up going a bit deeper than anticipated, but that's usually not a problem. But yeah, whenever you're ready, choosing pile 1, 2 or 3, remembering I will leave a little freeze frame here for you if you need a little bit more time to make a selection. And yeah, I am very excited. I have been speaking to a crush of mine today, so that's definitely probably the reason why Spirit was like, hey, do you want to do a reading on this today? Because yeah, felt relevant to me. So often when my energies are particularly kind of like open or active for something, that's when Spirit asks me to channel something to do with it. So yeah, that's where we're at for a little bit of background. But yeah, let's get into today's reading. I can't think of any more disclaimers or anything else I want to add, so we'll get straight into it today. Hey there, pile 1. Welcome to your reading. If you chose this beautiful pink agate crystal, then this reading is probably for you. But as always, bringing your own intuition and discernment to your reading. It's the age of Aquarius. You are your own authority. You are your own source of knowledge and light. So yeah, bring that along to this reading to get your messages. We're going to... Normally I start with, or well, not normally, I guess recently I have been starting with energy clarifications. Today, I think we're just going to go for like kind of straight into the messages because we do kind of want it to be a shorter-ish video today. Spirit, what can you tell us about pile 1's situation with their crush? Okay, pile one, your crush probably has a lot of kind of dreamy energy with this Neptunian energy coming out. This is usually someone who's like hella dreamboat material, and there's also a lot of sexual energy coming out as well. The fifth house is more like play, pleasure, fun, kind of casual dating, entertainment, like all of that really kind of early on kind of fiery and desire-based sexual energy. The eighth house is more kind of later energies, usually with more emotional intimacy. It's more of a watery, sensual kind of wanting to really connect and merge with a lover kind of energy. So yeah, we've got a lot of, basically got the full spectrum of sexual energies. I definitely think of the first and eighth house as the most sexual houses in the house system. So yeah, you've basically started off really, really strong with this connection. We do have some North Node and solar eclipse energy. North Node energies usually come out when there's kind of like a plan for the two of you to figure some stuff out together, learn some lessons from each other, or you're supposed to just connect in some way. This is like a very kind of destined kind of energy. It comes out when, yeah, two people are meant to connect in some way. So I assume that you will be connecting if you haven't already. And for those of you who have already connected with this person at either maybe a shallow or deep depth, you will feel like it's kind of supposed to be. We have solar eclipse energy. So this is usually about kind of building, adding to your life, kind of making things better. Lunar eclipses tend to kind of destroy things to make space for new things. Solar eclipses kind of more upgrade things. So this connection might feel like an upgrade for you in some way, either an upgrade in comparison to past loves, or a upgrade in terms of like maybe you're going after something that you feel like is more aligned with you, that is more fulfilling. Maybe you're coming from more of a place of self-empowerment, less from a place of like shadow or the unconscious mind. So yeah, there's definitely some upgrading energy for you here. It's definitely kind of like a better connection for you than maybe some of your connections in the past. You're also probably imagining a lot with this Neptunian energy. This is a lot of kind of imaginative kind of desire. With this card though, you do want to be mindful of self-sacrifice, self-betrayal, self-abandonment, and illusion. You just do want to be mindful that you're perceiving this person for who they really are and not for who you're kind of projecting them to be. Neptunian energy rules Pisces. Pisces is very watery. It's the most kind of flexible watery sign because it's a mutable energy. So it is subject to a lot of projection because it kind of like absorbs projection so easily. That watery energy kind of can reflect back really anything that the person who's seeing wants to see. So yeah, that's something to be mindful of, that there's a potential for projection here. So yeah, just like really grounding yourself and like being open to who this person really is and not your ideas about this person so much. We do have Black Moon Lilith energy. So this person might be a little bit kind of aloof or mysterious. This can also refer to someone who's a feminist, someone who could potentially be breaking down some sort of barriers to do with gender roles and gender stereotypes. So this person might, through the way that they present, through their gender expression, might be a little bit different to what you would expect based on those cultural norms and narratives. Or this person like maybe values things that are aligned with feminist values. This person, Black Moon Lilith is really this energy that combines like kind of masculine and feminine energies together. She's a really good mix of masculine and feminine energy. So this person might be a really good mix as well. And she can basically embody either the dark feminine, so like the feminine that feels like rage, who's like very mystical, magical, and she can also embody like more masculine qualities. So she's usually got a lot of direction and can build a lot. So yeah, your person might be able to embrace those kinds of energies, which I don't know, I feel like that's nice. But we'll get straight into the tarot to find out what's going to happen with this crush. What's going to happen with pile one's crush, please? A lot of reversals. Things are probably not going to go the way that you might be expecting with a lot of these reversals coming out. So we have the Four of Wands, which is a marriage card, and then we also have the Page of Cups, which is a big love synchronicity, especially kind of like new love, abundance, like really cupful kind of loving energy. There's a lot of really positive love energies here, basically. The Four of Wands does traditionally indicate like harmony, marriage. It's a Venus in Aries, so it's just like a big kind of celebration. It's also a connection between a Venus or feminine sign and an Aries or a masculine sign, or planet and sign, sorry. And yeah, it usually refers to like everything kind of coming to fruition and kind of completing in this very kind of logical way, but like also a very easy way. The Five of Pentacles, this is a Mercury in Taurus energy, and this is about counteracting stagnation. So when it comes out in reverse, usually it means, just based on being clarified by the Four of Wands, it usually means having to move or change something in order to bring about the outcome of marriage and harmony in this case. So yeah, it's very likely that with your crush you'll have to move in order to kind of experience this connection and this, you know, like love. Like there may be some distance between you, or like you guys might just fit better at a different location for whatever reason, or they might need to move, or you might need to move for whatever reason. And yeah, essentially you're going to have to move in some way. This could be, it's mostly physical, like physically moving. For some people it will be some sort of maybe less big movement, but it'll be a movement nonetheless. So it might be something like either changing a diet, maybe going to therapy, like there's going to be some sort of change that has to do with this connection coming into fruition. There is some allusion to this connection though. There will be a need to kind of really break down any projections that you're bringing into this connection, and really being able to witness and understand each other for who they really are, especially with this Seven of Cups, Two of Cups, Hermit and Fool card all coming out, and the Page of Swords. Both these rows are kind of saying the same thing. The Two of Cups in reverse, because this is a Venus in Cancer energy and it's very much a kind of love, partnership, attraction kind of card. when it comes out in reverse, it's usually asking for you to be able to love and integrate opposites. Like usually this refers to people coming together who are very, very different in a fair few ways, and really having to be able to see each other's point of view, being able to understand where each other are coming from. And the Hermit card is a heavy shadow work card, so it does seem like there's some maybe projections and illusions based on either societal or familial kind of conditioning that need to be kind of witnessed, addressed, and like really understood within the self, so that you can see each other more clearly, so that you're not projecting things that you've absorbed about life onto each other. Like it's really about overcoming any projection by doing shadow work essentially, so that you can be on this really like even, open footing with each other. The Fool card is like primal energy. It's really about new starts, new beginnings, and it's ruled by Uranus, and Uranus is really about respecting each person's inner genius and like them being who they are, how they contribute in a really unique way to the tapestry of life, and kind of like why people being so different is so essential to life. Like life needs people to be different, and different people that are different from us are no better or worse. They just contribute to life in a different way. So that's really what all these cards are saying. Yeah, they're saying there's going to have to be some letting go of belief systems that you might have within, especially negative belief systems, systems that stop you from loving each other to the fullest, so that, yeah, you can really be on this kind of pure potential when it comes to a long-term commitment and love with this person. This Page of Swords indicates often a little bit of kind of naivety, and the Seven of Cups again is another illusion card. So yeah, that some things that have maybe slipped by you, slipped into the background, and more working kind of unconsciously will be active in this connection, especially early on. The Seven of Cups, this is a Venus in Scorpio energy, and this is really about gaining clarity, turning away from any toxicity that you've picked up in life, especially through kind of social conditioning, really clearing the mind, getting fresh air, fresh perspective, and letting go of any illusion or confusion. The Page of Swords, yeah, it's this kind of like you've got to have this curious, open mind, beginner's mind, and being willing to see things with a fresh perspective kind of energy, to kind of like understand any belief systems that are like holding you back, and definitely holding you back from loving this person to the fullest, and vice versa. They will probably have to do the same with you. But it does seem like any betrayals from the past will essentially be able to be let go of, because the connection will be so abundant and full of love that basically any pains from the past will be very easily cleared in this connection. The Seven of Swords, this is a moon in Aquarius, and this is all about truth, honesty, and like having no secrets with someone essentially. So yeah, it seems like there's going to be so much love that there'll be kind of no real need for secrets, and that's probably going to be what allows a lot of this kind of shadow work to do with illusions and conditioning. That's what's really going to allow this work to happen, because you guys will feel safe being vulnerable with each other, bring all the stuff from within to the table, and yeah, experiencing a like really open, honest connection. We'll get some of these messages of love oracles. So we have passion, try something you've never done before. We know that there's a lot of passion in this connection from this 5th and 8th house energy. stability. This relationship can stand the test of time. This is coming out on top of the Four of Wands energy. So yeah, this basically indicates like a potential marriage connection. So we have denial, detach with love to clearly see the truth. This is also what we've been talking about in terms of any illusions that you're carrying. Usually our illusions are very much in that kind of denial vibration. You're kind of like denying part of reality with your own kind of belief about reality. So yeah, really being able to detach from your beliefs and look at them with that beginner's mind to yeah, like to be able to see clearly and to just get a different perspective. So we have unavailable. This person is unable to give all you deserve. I think this is for both of you. I think until you can work on some of this illusion kind of stuff and this detachment and seeing the truth energy, like there'll be things within you that will hold each other back from giving each other all the love that you deserve. But I think this is because it's equal, because you're both in the same position where you're going to have to let go of some stuff. Like you're kind of equally available and equally unavailable, and you'll be able to work through that unavailability together. So yeah, I definitely don't see that as negative. Like we're never, like humans are never like 100% emotionally available. Like they're usually on an availability spectrum, and you can change. You can move up the availability spectrum, you can move down the availability spectrum. So yeah, the two of you will be able to move up the availability spectrum together. Right now though, there's things that are blocking you from loving each other fully based on your own conditioning, based on your own illusions. Whoop. This person may not be showing you the extent of their feelings yet. They may feel a lot deeper than what they're showing you so far. But yeah, there's a lot of potential for happiness, expansion, joy. Yeah, it's definitely time to come into clarity, truth, reevaluation, protection, power. Yeah, but essentially it's not quite yet because there's still some mirroring, there's still some projection here that needs to kind of like start to clear, and the two of you need to kind of, before this new start can happen, you guys really need to start to address these each within yourself so that you can be open to loving each other for who they truly are. So yeah, there's just this like little bit of kind of shadow that needs to be dealt with. We have the hot moon, which is all about extremes. So there's probably going to be some extremes in this connection. And this is probably also contributing to this like heavy kind of sexual energy. Yeah, there's going to be an opportunity to become more unconditionally loving beings as individuals, to be able to love the self a lot more. And yeah, you need to surrender into the process of how this connection is supposed to kind of come together. And yeah, be grateful for the lessons that it's already beginning to teach you, especially with this North Node energy. They are important lessons for you. So we have surrender to the divine. So we've got double surrender. So there's obviously, if you're feeling like you're getting very attached, there's some surrendering that needs to happen at the moment, and kind of allowing things to take the path that it's supposed to take. Have faith in your dreams. It does seem like everything's coming together though. And it's a time to give rather than take. So making sure you're concentrating on what you have to offer this person. So we have another purity and finding balance. So that's definitely been a theme of this reading, of like the two of you being very different and having to kind of like open yourself up to a lot more love to actually be able to essentially work together and exist in harmony. But yeah, trust the purity of your heart, look inside your heart, and within you'll find the answer to your question. So you're looking for like the version of you that's most aligned with unconditional love. That's kind of like your guidepost forward, to be able to love this person deeper and to be able to love yourself deeper as well. So we have my life is filled with serenity. I exist in harmony. I am at peace as your final affirmation for today. But I think I'm going to leave that there. I hope you got everything out of this reading that you really wanted and needed. It was a pleasure reading for you today. Yeah, it's definitely very kind of fun and interesting. There's a lot of positives coming in, and there's just like this little bit of kind of like shadow projection illusion that needs to be cleared first, but that's really not that big a deal. Like all really intentional, purposeful, deep kind of connections have an element of that to it, and yeah, I feel like that's not a bad kind of lesson to be learning, because it aligns you more with your own sovereignty, your own ability to be unconditionally loving. So love that for you. But thanks for making it all the way through. Until I see you again, ciao. Hey there, pile 2. Welcome to your reading. If you chose this beautiful ice quartz crystal, then this reading is probably for you. But as always, bring your intuition and discernment to your reading, to adjust the messages slightly for you, based on your situation. Normally we start with clarifying the energies. I'm not going to really go into a deep dive of energy clarification today. We're going to kind of get straight into it. So we're just going to use this astrology deck to kind of like suss the crush situation, and then we'll get some deeper messages from our tarot. Could we get some messages about pile 2's crush, please? Okay, so pile 2, your person's probably very practical, very analytical, probably has a really good lifestyle, very kind of habitual routine. But there's also this kind of like dreaminess about them. They might be very kind of thoughtful and imaginative, and they're definitely into personal development with this nice 9th house energy coming out. This is kind of like, it's a very like into higher education, into travel, into learning energy, but there's also kind of this element of kind of spirituality, faith. I would say it's a more practical spirituality and faith, like more of a faith that helps you exist in the world. It's very personal development focused rather than being spiritual for the sake of spiritual. It's almost like being spiritual for the sake of like being the best version of yourself possible. We have a lot of Scorpio and Virgo energy. They might have a lot of these energies either as placements in their charts or part of their personality. We have some Pisces, some Sagittarius energy, and also some Gemini here. They're probably very clever with this Mercury placement coming out. This is someone who's very intellectual, usually a good communicator, and either likes to understand how things work or just kind of intuitively gets things maybe on a deeper level. The Scorpio energy, this is someone that might have a fair bit of sex appeal. They're usually someone who's deep and maybe a little bit more sensually and emotionally connected in their sexuality. So yeah, there's not necessarily that same, like it's not necessarily a super overt sexuality. There might be a little element of kind of mystery to them, and definitely some depth to it. It does seem like this connection is destined to either come into fruition or for the two of you to connect in some way. There's something there. There's something about this connection that's kind of meant to play out for the two of you. Potentially it could be assisting each of your manifestations in some way, or you might be each other's manifested kind of ideal partner, depending on your situation. I think that's about all. We might get straight into the tarot to find out what's going to happen more specifically with this crush. What's going to happen with this crush, please? I might just make a bit more room. What's going to happen with pile 2's crush, please? Okay, so the romance in this connection might be really slow to start with this Knight of Cups coming out in reverse. The Knight of Cups is the most passionate, romantic, kind of like very dreamy, idealistic kind of energy. It came out, so that would suggest that it's going to happen eventually, but it came out in reverse, meaning that it's either going to take time to build up, or maybe this person's version of romance will be maybe a little bit different to what you were expecting in some way. Like they might express their more passionate romantic side in a very different way than maybe what you imagined. But I would say that it'll feel good the way that they end up expressing it to you eventually. It just may be, yeah, a little bit different, a little bit slow to kind of start. But it's clarified by the 10 of Cups and Justice card. The Justice card, this is heavy Libra energy. Libra rules over like romantic partnerships. It also often indicates marriages because it's about law, contracts, binding, especially about binding two people together for a fairly like deep commitment. And then we also have the 10 of Cups, which is traditionally all about happiness, alignment, kind of like peak relationship satisfaction kind of energy. It's a very sorry, I'm just plugging my phone in so that we don't lose charge while we're, yeah, this is like basically peak emotional energies. So yeah, it seems like this is heading for some sort of like contractual agreement. This could be like even just signing a lease together, or like being tied to one another in some way. It might be like domestic partnership or whatever the term in your area is. Yeah, there's going to be some sort of like tying together, which I think comes from this person's kind of like practical kind of side. Like they'll want to be kind of practically going through the steps of tying you together. We do have some interesting energies along the way though. So this Four of Cups coming out in reverse, this can indicate some feelings of unfulfillment along the way. Like obviously you're getting to this kind of like peak fulfillment energy, but there's going to be a little bit of instability along the way, and maybe a little bit of stagnation, maybe a little bit of things maybe not happening how you expected, or not happening quickly at least. The Eight of Wands, this is a Mercury and Sagittarius energy, and usually this comes out in reverse when there's actually a necessity to slow down. There's some sort of important, slowing down offers some sort of importance. It's some sort of intentional kind of slowing, expressing truth a lot more easily, and kind of waiting to express that truth until you feel kind of like safe. And it's also about kind of undergoing a lot of healing, but really step by step, like kind of letting life kind of prompt those steps kind of naturally. So yeah, it does seem like things will happen very slowly, but it's intentional. It's kind of setting you up for this success. It seems like moving quickly or being like super romantic super quickly and getting lost in all of that is not going to serve this connection for whatever reason. The Four of Cups, this is a Moon in Cancer energy, and so this is really about making sure that you're being really emotionally honest. It's also about making sure that you have very realistic expectations. It's about making sure that you're nurturing both yourself and other people. It's about also being like creative, and like having your own hobbies and pursuits. So it does seem like part of this slowing down is about making sure that this relationship stays balanced, and so that you can address any unrealistic expectations you have about relationships or about this person along the way, and really address them, heal them, understand them, and transform that energy so that you can build like a better base with each other. This is also about really being honest. It may take some time for the two of you to like really open up and be honest with each other. I would say that the communication will eventually be good with this Mercury energy. Like they might have a communicative side, but yeah, it just may take a little bit of time to kind of establish that foundation, and it's important that you don't rush it. We have the Hanged One energy. So the Hanged One, this is also Neptunian energy. This can refer to illusion, uncertainty, sometimes illness, definitely any ways that we're self-sacrificing. It's also a very it's also about things sometimes reversing, or just like changing, like things really being turned on its head and things kind of shifting around for some reason. It came out with the Judgment card. This is Pluto energy, and this is really about destroying anything not aligned with unconditional love to create space for things that are better aligned with unconditional love. So these two cards both are major arcana, and these two cards clarifying each other. It does seem like there's going to be some things that kind of need to break down in order to get you to be your best self in some way. Maybe there's like, again, kind of in a similar vein of like being realistic and honest. Maybe there's some illusion. Neptune energy is heavily tied to illusion that needs to kind of be broken down and yeah, built kind of into something else, like create more space for more love, more abundance, more just like better things that are better aligned with you. There's definitely going to be some kind of breaking down and building up happening, some things shifting, some things kind of turning upside down in some situations, things maybe not going to plan as well. The threes in Kabbalah Tarot represent understanding, divine feminine, harmony, contemplation. And what we have is we have kind of the beginning of the manifestation process with the wands and the end of the manifestation process with the pentacles. So probably the two of you are going to be able to manifest some cool things with each other as a team. Like there seems to be some really positive co-creating energy here with these two energies clarifying each other. The Three of Wands is more about kind of like broadening your horizons, traveling, and like kind of more creative, spark kind of collaborative energy. Like it's a really inspired collaborative energy, whereas the Three of Pentacles is a much more practical collaborative energy. It's more about like either planning your life or like doing the work to get your plans to come into fruition. So this is a Mars in Capricorn energy. So this is a really powerful kind of masculine energy in terms of the doing. This is a Sun in Aries energy, which again is another powerful masculine energy in terms of like the inspiration for the doing, essentially. This is really about trusting your own lead, being able to encourage each other, and both giving and receiving in the connection equally. This Three of Pentacles is more about combining drive and ambition with really the practical steps, the self-discipline, this routine, the hard work, to essentially achieve your goals. So, and it's also about like not trying to control each other and really allowing each other to take up space in a way that feels authentic. So it is a lot of very interesting energies. Like there seems like there's a lot of powerful co-creating energies here. It just seems like it's going to take some time, essentially. So we have spiritual lesson. This person is in your life to teach you a spiritual lesson. So we have forgiveness. Forgiving yourself will help, or another will help you move forward. So yeah, there's probably going to, in terms of all these realistic expectations and honesty, like there's potentially people from your past that maybe created those like little self-lies and little challenging expectations. So there may be some things from your past that you need to forgive. You also may need to forgive each other for any kind of like projecting of your past onto each other as well. So we have longing. Someone is secretly yearning for you. So I'd say this person is equally, if not more, in a position of longing for you that you are for them. So yeah, they really want this too. So we have stability. This relationship can stand the test of time, and different pages. You and this person don't share the same vision. So it does seem like even though your visions might clash with each other, and this is probably what's going to create a lot of this kind of upheaval and change and really kind of messing things up, at the end of the day, the two of you still have this ability to kind of withstand all of that kind of challenging energy. And even though you might have different visions, maybe for yourself, for your own life path, you'll be able to essentially support each other and make it work. So we have sunglasses, watching, looking, stalking. This person's probably keeping an eye on you, especially on your socials. They're keeping tabs. Okay. So there's definitely a need to adapt and change and heal within the two of you. There's definitely been pains from the past that are being healed at the moment. So yeah, it's important that you each take this time to heal any past pains, any forgiveness that you feel like you need to embrace in order to kind of release anything from the past. It's a really good time to do it. But yeah, know that there's this kind of like love and paradise potential, happiness, expansion, joy, playfulness, enjoying each other, as well as unconditional love and self-love, attraction, affection, energies here. So yeah, there's a lot of really positive energies here. There's definitely some challenges, but all connections have challenges. So yeah, have faith in this connection. The two of you will have to kind of go through it together, but you're going through it to grow essentially as individuals. You'll probably realize a lot of stuff in this connection. There's a lot of mirroring that's going to support you to be your kind of best, most pure version of yourself, most authentic version of yourself, and know that you're protected in all ways. This connection is also probably going through some energetic protections, just like based on kind of like how things essentially have to move slowly in this connection. It's all part of the protection to offer that stability, because the two of you are on slightly different pages. It's important that you guys take things slow to kind of make sure that that different vision doesn't stop you from being able to come together. So you need to look at the bigger picture now, especially to do with any resistances, any resistance that's coming up. Don't let pride get in your way, and a new romantic cycle begins. So this is probably going to be very different to past connections for you. Do we have any more oracles for pile 2, please? Okay, that was a lot. So we have celebration. There's going to be things to celebrate very soon. Protect your dreams. So yeah, making sure you're not sacrificing your own dreams, your own vision for this person. There's a way for the two of you to have different visions and coexist. You just need to kind of like proceed slowly, proceed with caution with this connection. And yeah, figure out how the two of you are going to essentially make it work with different ideas about what you each want from life as individuals. We also have light and nature sign. So probably this person sending you messages from the 5D. This could be like angel numbers, or just like anything of significance, maybe a certain animal or something like that. And know that there is a lot of light in the situation that can penetrate any darkness that comes up. There's going to be definitely a mix of those two energies in this connection, and you just really need to focus on the light. Know that you are in full control and have the power to attract all that you desire. So yeah, it's not like this person or your dreams. You can have both, and you're in full control, you're in full power of that. You've just got to kind of like let things unfold, and yeah, life will essentially teach you how to make it all work so that you can have everything that you want. So you can have that 10 of Cups, alignment, happiness, abundance kind of energy. But I think I'm going to leave that here. I hope you got everything out of this reading that you really wanted and needed. It's been a pleasure reading for you. I appreciate that you made it all the way through. And until I see you again, ciao. Hey there, pile 3. Welcome to your reading. If you chose this beautiful moonstone crystal, then this reading is probably for you. But as always, bringing your own intuition and discernment to every reading to adjust messages to make sure that they're aligned for you and you're in your situation. So we're going to start with just kind of getting a little bit of a pulse check on the energy of this kind of crush or on this connection. We're not doing like a full energy clarification this time. We're just gonna hopefully get pretty into it pretty much straight away. Can we have any more about this crush for pile 3, please? Okay, so we got a lot of divine masculine energy here with this Mars card coming out. Mars rules the 1st and 8th house traditionally, so this is a lot of energy for someone who potentially cares a lot about kind of themselves, their self-identity, their body, and their kind of like very immediate expression of themselves. This is also very sexual energy. The 8th house has a lot to do with deep and emotional sexual kind of intimacy with other people, and it's very much kind of like emerging kind of energy. It's more to do with like kind of tantric sex than the 5th house, which is kind of like a little bit more about fun, dating, and like pleasure, and maybe like a little bit more of a superficial way. We also have the modern ruler of the 8th house coming out, so we do have a lot of Scorpio energy here. So there's a very good chance that your person is a Scorpio, maybe also an Aries or a Pisces, or has those placements. Pluto energy, this is about someone who maybe is going through a spiritual awakening, maybe is kind of like really mixing up their life and transforming a lot within themselves, like growing a lot as a person. This may also be a fairly intense person, or a person with a fair few contradictions about themselves. Like there may be kind of one energy and then also another energy at different times depending on the circumstance. Black Moon Lilith energy, this can be someone who maybe doesn't fit the kind of norms with masculine and feminine energies in some way. They may embody little bits of both energies. Black Moon Lilith is definitely very feminist energies. It's a very mysterious energy. Black Moon Lilith can really is a really good match for masculine energy, like in terms of like traditional kind of going after what they want, like working, being the public image, embracing their own like inner masculine, and it's also very connected to dark feminine energies, so things like kind of anger, rage, things like that. So yeah, this person may have a mix of masculine and feminine energies. They may associate more with the kind of light masculine and the dark feminine in some way, or they might have wounds from either the light masculine or dark feminine potentially too. We have some 12th house energy. This deals with the unconscious mind, escapism, collective consciousness, collective conditioning, societal kind of influences on the psyche. 12th house energy usually makes someone dreamy, but it also can hide illusions and projections, because it's ruled by Pisces, which really is the most kind of mirroring energy. It can really kind of reflect any projection in some way, because it just like really absorbs and reflects basically everything. So yeah, there's probably some illusion in this connection in some way. And there maybe has been a period where you've not been in contact with this person for whatever reason, with this void of course of moon. Usually there's different definitions for what this is, but kind of the best one in my opinion is a period where the moon is not making any aspects to any other planets for a period of time until it transitions out of its current sign into the next. So yeah, I usually interpret it as a period of kind of not making a connection for some reason, like a period of like no contact, or like a kind of delay in making contact with each other in some way. But it does seem like this connection is very intentional. North Node energies come out when there's some sort of kind of life plan, life purpose kind of energy afoot. So yeah, it does seem like this connection is intentional in some way. But we'll get our tarot messages to find out kind of exactly what's going to happen with this connection. by this Nine of Wands, please. And the Four of Cups, please. And the Seven of Pentacles, please. So in this connection, y'all are going to establish a much healthier connection than basically what the two of you had been exposed to potentially in your early life. This Nine of Pentacles, this is all about breaking down generational curses and traumas, and living a really kind of abundant, healed kind of physical life. It's a Mercury and Virgo energy, and that energy does not want to pass down kind of like problematic energies onto future generations. It wants to set up a really firm foundation and a much healthier foundation. The Nine of Wands as well, this is all about establishing healthy boundaries, stopping any past like toxic behaviors or toxic patterns essentially. And it's also about like staying within your boundaries once you figure out what they are. Clarified by this Five of Cups energy, this is heavy kind of regret, loss, pain. It's a very challenging emotional energy. It's a Mars and Scorpio energy. It's usually pains that create radical transformations, similar to this kind of like Pluto energy. And it's heavily associated with grief. And it really asks us to go through all 10. I can't remember how many stages of grief there are, and unblock any trapped prana, chi, anything that's stuck in the body. This card, whenever it comes out, it's very heavily associated with the book The Body Keeps Score, and how the body stores traumas from the past, even traumas that you can't consciously kind of articulate. These two energies working together is really about liberating the self through like a lot of self-understanding, as well as like moving through the stages of actually feeling your feelings, understanding yourself on deeper levels, creating healthier boundaries, healthier patterns, healthier systems. Because there's a lot of energies here that would suggest kind of especially kind of familial kind of trauma and conditioning. The moon stores a lot of our unconscious energies, definitely a lot of problematic behaviors. The Chariot, this is Cancer energy. So you've got Cancer and Moon. These are both fourth house energies, which is all about family of origin, family conditioning, any wounded energy all happens here. And the Chariot card is really about trying to move forward in life while letting go of kind of the dark of that family of origin, while also embracing the light. So it's really kind of walking this tightrope where you're trying to honor yourself, you're honoring your history, you're honoring your background, you're honoring your ancestors, but you're also asking for more, you're asking for better, you're wanting to kind of improve the way that your lineage has been existing through your own kind of life, through your own experience, through your own kind of evolution and transformation, your own inner transformation. So it does seem like there's maybe going to be a lack of action in this connection until the two of you are really well on your way with this inner work. It seems like it's important that this work is really beginning, that you're going through all of that kind of transformation before this connection really can get off the ground. Yeah, it seems like maybe you wouldn't be able to like love each other as much as you deserve, and as much as you would want to love each other until some of these patterns get addressed. This Two of Cups energy, this is a Venus in Cancer energy, and this is about being able to love the self and another equally, and it's about being able to love the way your person is opposite to you, and being able to integrate like your perception of them into a very loving view of them, even in ways that are very different and very difficult. This Four of Cups, this is all about kind of fulfillment. You can see in this artwork that this person like really trusts that there's just like this abundance of kind of love, connection, intuition, sensation, romance kind of all coming in. It's a moon in Cancer energy. So again, we've got lots of moon, Cancer-y, like there's especially a lot of energies from maternal energy. So if there's any maternal trauma, like that will definitely be showing up with each of you individually. And it's definitely something that at least one of you needs to heal. And yeah, this Four of Cups is really about being able to nurture the self as well as someone else, being really honest, having realistic expectations of other people, and really embracing inner creativity as well, as kind of like abundance, trust, fulfillment, things like that. So yeah, there's definitely this big kind of upheaval and change with a lot of kind of familial energies within the two of you, and I would kind of expect things to not really happen in this connection until this kind of shadow work really gets off the ground within each of you as individuals, and then the two of you can kind of share that together potentially when you get to kind of a good place with it, where you're not letting it be destructive in any way. While it's destructive, I would say that the two of you will intuitively kind of keep a little bit more distance. We have the Seven of Pentacles as well, so this is a huge card for like money, success, abundance. It's a Saturn in Taurus energy, and it's really about being on a new course in life, and letting go of what's not working to move towards your own blessings, essentially. So there's a lot of kind of letting go of kind of negative patterns, especially things below the surface, and moving towards something better within this connection. So yeah, regardless of kind of like how long this connection is, there's going to be this big kind of transformation. It's very important. So we have retreat, time alone or in nature will help you recharge. This connection seems very intense, so probably like being able to like take care of yourself and have time out will be important. We also have trust. It's safe to trust in this situation. Release, radical acceptance and surrender can help you let go. This is especially important about kind of releasing the past, especially toxic patterns from the past. And we have self-care. Clean your energy field and focus on yourself before acting, which is kind of what we're just saying. We're just saying like kind of get started with this and like start figuring some stuff out and make sure that you're kind of in a good place with it before you start acting in this connection. Because it seems like the two of you will both be kind of coming to this connection with the same energy. And if the two of you kind of come in with very murky energy fields each, there'll be a lot of space for kind of like projection and things kind of not going down very well. So yeah, it's time for self-work, shadow work, self-appreciation, making healthier choices, establishing boundaries, self-love, self-care, being happier. But yeah, there is this kind of like attraction, flirting, dating, hooking up energy in the future. We have heart with a key, so welcoming, love, meeting the one, opening your heart, getting together and having it be perfect. Yeah, so eventually that seems to be where everything's headed. It just may take some time to get there. So we have darkness. It might be a bit of a dark night of the soul for the two of you at the moment. Potentially the darkness is teaching you each things though. So yeah, kind of like trust what's being shown to you in this time. Know that the two of you are definitely going through a lot of change, a lot of transformation. And it's important that you guys kind of like nourish yourself as individuals first before you engage in this connection. Because yeah, there's you're definitely going to need to enter this connection with a little bit of like at the very least self-awareness, but especially some wisdom to do with kind of the patterns from your kind of lineage and kind of how they play out. So yeah, you really want to come into this connection with as much kind of preparation and wisdom and maturity as possible. But know that luck is on your side. Like things are working for you, not against you, for sure. And the energy is gaining momentum. So things are probably already kind of well underway. You may be even, especially if you've made it this far, you're probably kind of like aware of some of the things that we've been talking about in this reading. So yeah, the energies are definitely gaining momentum. So we have temptation, new beginnings, and inspiration. So there'll probably be a lot of temptations for you to kind of like get into this connection maybe a little earlier than planned. But yeah, like trying to resist temptation and just like really trust your intuition about knowing when to engage in this connection. Like, yeah, making sure it's not coming from a place of like kind of lust or anxiety, like really entering into it when you feel ready. Yeah, it seems like you're definitely going to feel lots of inspired action moving forward. Like you might feel inspired to do things that kind of don't make sense, but know they're part of the healing. And sometimes not knowing why you need to do something, but just knowing that you need to do it. Like, it's an important process to be able to embrace, especially when you're about to get into a connection with someone who's kind of got a lot going on personally as well. So we have the universe and my inner self are harmoniously balanced, and compassion naturally flows from the heart of my inner being. As your affirmations to finish with today. If you made it all the way through, thank you so much. I appreciate it. It's been a pleasure reading for you. I hope it helped, or I hope it entertained you at the very least. But until I see you again, thank you so much, and ciao.